What's going on, Internet? Nerdlocker.com here with this week's comic book reviews. And I'm starting off with Justice League Dark number 23, the next chapter in the Trinity War. I'm actually very pleased with this story, and it gets me excited for Forever Evil because I realize this story is just leading into something. Like, it's, you know, more or less a Bendis story, like I call it. But I like where it's going, and I'm really enjoying what's happening. This issue, everyone's throwing down. We see we see a lot of stuff that I think is going to that we're going to see like reflected in Forever Evil. I don't want to give anything away because I mean we got all three Justice Leagues here. Everyone on these teams are pretty big characters, and there's a lot happening with all of them. Just this ends with something crazy, and I can't wait for the next issue next week. I'm almost like nervous to read it. But either way, I'm giving this 5 out of 5 Nerd Skulls. I'm loving this right now. You guys should pick it up.
Hey guys, this week I got to read Avengers number 18, and this is finally into Infinity now. We're not getting the preludes anymore. We're just all into this Infinity storyline. What I really like about this is that it doesn't feel like a tie-in, because usually when you get a tie-in, it feels like it's just completely frivolous and has nothing to do with the main story. And I actually do feel like this one is going to have some impact on the actual Infinity book, which I really appreciate, and I really hope that that's actually what's going to happen. We get the scrolls, which I've been waiting for, and there's just a big interstellar battle going down, and we've got a good cliffhanger. This is a really good book. I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 Nerd Skulls. Definitely check it out. Like I said, it's not worthless along the Infinity storyline, as far as I can tell so far.
Hey there, nerds. Jim here with my comic book reviews this week. And first up, I have X-Men number 4. I'll be honest, we got another all-girl team. And one of the things that got me off of Uncanny X-Force was I did not like the all-girl team that they assembled and the one dude Puck, who I cannot stand. This one I really, really enjoyed. I like Storm, the leader. I like how Rachel and her are kind of butting heads over the whole Sublime Archaea thing and how Storm almost had to kill Karina. So cool, I like that. And then, of course, we've got Rogue and Psylocke and the rest of the team feeling out being a team. I kind of like that because we've had a lot of X-Men professionals, and they know what's going on. They know how to take care of everything. Well, now we're putting some different personalities together and trying to make them a team. At the same time, we have Jubilee and Wolverine off on a different story, kind of taking it chill with Shogo, the baby Jubilee saved. And it's really cool because we're visiting Jubilee's past. We're going to the mall where she first got ambushed by the Sentinels. We're going to her house where they basically destroyed the house. And it's really cool to have this sort of down issue, a sort of breather issue. I really like that with them. There's an event that comes down at the end where the team has to pull together and make everything okay in the end, which is cool because they're forced to. But you know, there's this underlying level of distrust that is going to come out with the next big thing, which obviously we're going to see in the coming issues. So I'm going to go ahead and give X-Men number 4 3.5 out of 5 Nerd Skulls.
All right, next up I have Daredevil number 30. I've loved Daredevil for years, ever since I started reading, because it always seems to be the book that just exists by itself. There's not a bunch of tie-ins. This one, they sort of it revolves around something involved with Infinity, but it's just a real quick issue, and we get to see the Silver Surfer, but it's done really well. You'll get it when you read it. I mean, I can't say enough good things about Daredevil. It's always been awesome. I can't put this book down. I'm giving it 5 out of 5 Nerd Skulls. You guys need to be reading Daredevil.
Hey fellow nerds, Jasper here, and I just got done reading Superior Spider-Man issue 16. This is interesting, and I really did enjoy this issue only because the fact that it wasn't just Spider-Man who is the focal point of this issue. It's the fact that everyone in the Daily Bugle, from each character to even the minute, NYPD, to even the citizens of New York, were all kind of a factor in this issue because pretty much Spider-Man goes on TV and pretty much tells the world that the Hobgoblin is Phil Ulrich. And what's interesting is how quickly the friends and the media and everyone else within that centerpiece just turns and about faces and pretty much goes into some sort of vigilante mode. Neither the people or citizens of New York really take action, but vocally the distrust from everyone from the Daily Bugle just pretty much puts Phil in a situation where he pretty much loses it, and just the breakdown of how that happens is pretty cool. Spider-Man himself does very little to really push that factor, because really it's all about the characters of the Daily Bugle. That really is the show. Dan Slott does an amazing job writing it, because frankly, just more on the intricacy of each character, from Phil's girlfriend to Uncle Ben, is more the denomination of the book itself. And what's more surprising is when you think it's all over, it never is. And that's the great thing about these comics nowadays, is the fact that anything can happen, particularly in the Marvel Now universe. So I'm giving this a 3 out of 5 Nerd Skulls. Definitely check it out.
I also got to read Superman Unchained number 3 this week, and I don't know what it is, but for me, I just feel like New 52 and Superman have not been on the same page, and this book is definitely one of the better Superman books that we've gotten, but it's still not the best Superman that I've read. We have this character, Wraith, who's a new character. We finally have discovered who this character is that they were kind of hinting at in the last issue. And so he basically just spends most of the issue trying to convince Superman that he can trust him. And then we've also got Superman has General Lane going against him. So there's a little bit of dynamic going on. But I just felt like there wasn't enough in this story pushing it along. I'm going to give this book 3 Nerd Skulls. Let me know what you guys think.
Next up, I have Batman 66, number 2. I grew up on the Adam West Batman series. That was really my first introduction to Batman, and I just remember watching it every time it was on TV. And I love that we have a comic book now with the characters and just the feel of that show. And that's what this book is. If you watch the show, if you're familiar with it, the book's very corny. They have the bat sub and the bat, boat. It's awesome. It's so nostalgic to see this, but it's cool that it's all new stories and new lights. And even the dialogue in it is perfect to the characters that were on the show. This issue, you see Penguin and Mr. Freeze fighting Batman and Robin. It's just fun all around. I totally suggest picking this up. I'm giving it 4 out of 5 Nerd Skulls.
So I also got to read Wonder Woman number 23. And everything is coming to a head. We have the big final battle. And it's really cool because 22 issues have led up to this. And it pleases me to no end to say it was fulfilling. It was nice. Obviously, if you don't know who won, then you're an idiot, because obviously Wonder Woman's not going to lose. But we see a great battle with the Firstborn. We see we see War going at it, basically taking charge and trying to basically fix a bunch of stuff that he's done in the past. And he brings his own army, which is a whole bunch of dead warriors from the past, which is super cool. We see Orion kind of gets his ass kicked, but it's a great battle with Wonder Woman and the Firstborn at the end, and she really has to find out who she is. And it's really cool because of her actions. She gets yet another title, and I can't wait to see what she does with this new title, because it's pretty badass. And of course, Hera, everybody's safe at the end. Can't wait to see where they go with all the villains and stuff. But I was really pleased with the way they wrapped this all up. So I'm going to go ahead and give Wonder Woman number 23 4 out of 5 Nerd Skulls.
Hey fellow nerds, Jasper here, and I just got done reading Bloodshot issue 0. My God, this issue is just insanely awesome. Matt Kindt pretty much did a phenomenal job introducing one of Valiant's leading men. And, I don't even know what to say. Matt pretty much does an introductory to Bloodshot, and they pretty much do a whole history on not necessarily Bloodshot as a character, but more Bloodshot as a whole in the fabric of history lessons, from the fact that Bloodshot isn't just a mercenary. He's been multiple people reincarnated as Bloodshot. And it's just really awesome only because, you see, the intricacy from him in, Vietnam to him playing a part after the fact that, after the Reagan assassination attempt, and even more full circle to what he's doing now. And what's really great about the issue is the fact that it's not, written through the eyes or through the view of Bloodshot. Yes, you do see a glimpse of Bloodshot's, pieces of his past. But what's great is the fact that this is a story said by the scientist that's trying to perfect Bloodshot. And, just the motivation to why he wants to make Bloodshot more elusive and more human, because the fact that he's just a mindless beast is what is great about the story. There's more, body and, camaraderie to him being who he is, but not the fact that he's just a mindless zombie at work, but the fact that the scientist is trying to make him more human and more capable of not being the mindless beast that he is, but, trying to make him into an efficient killing machine that has, mercy for children and women. So one thing I definitely love is the fact that you see Bloodshot as an entity and not just the character or the killing machine that he is. I'm definitely giving this a 4 out of 5 Nerd Skulls.
I am here with a review of My Little Pony, the micro series, issue number 7, and this one is all about the Cutie Mark Crusaders. What was interesting about this is that it's actually not about them trying to find their cutie marks. They instead meet this little kind of shapeshifter thing that can turn into anything, so they kind of just make it turn into what they want, and they're having fun with it. They learn a lesson by the end. I definitely think that the Cutie Mark Crusaders' great strength is trying to find what they're good at, so this definitely wasn't the best storyline for them, but it was still fun, so I'm still going to give it 3.5 Nerd Skulls.
All right, I got to read Lobster Johnson, number 2. He's always been one of my favorite comic book characters since I read it, and I love that Mike Mignola is able to do things like BPRD and Hellboy and Ape Sapien and all the other books in that universe that he does, and then do Lobster Johnson. It still has this mystic feel to it, but it's very noir, and just the adventures that he goes on is awesome. This obviously is the second part in the 2-part story, just the little mini-series, which I love too. It's an ongoing without being an ongoing, and I love that, they come out when you need a Lobster Johnson story. This book has everything, even, monkeys with guns, and who are pretty accurate with them, which is kind of cool. But I love this book. Can't say enough great things about it. I'm giving it 5 out of 5 Nerd Skulls.